On this episode of Beer, Blues, and BS, we're once again joined by Rudeboy Kyle, the local geek, and JS Gunslinger. We're going to have a pretty good time. You know, it's a full house, which means we're going to be talking about all sorts of fun things, you know, including old man drinks, like old fashions. That explains why Kidder likes them so much. And, you know, we'll talk a little hockey and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's going to be a good show. How do I know? Because you're here. And when you're here, you're in a good place. Welcome to the show.
It's Howard Blues and V-Mark Kidder. Pour a cold beverage, pull up a seat, enjoy time with friends.
The Triple B! Well, the Triple B sucks. Okay? Come on.
Whatever, man. This is Beer, Blues, and BS. Online at beerbluesbs.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Beer, Blues, and BS, the podcast that says if it's got to be snow, let it be battlefield snow. Yeah. I am your host, living embodiment of Charlie Brown, Howard Blues, here, as always, with my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the Mark Kidder. Kidder! How you doing tonight?
Howard, you know this is a family show. You shouldn't be talking about Miami snowfall, and that, of course, is cocaine. I'm doing okay. How are you doing in your bowler and spinning confusion?
I just okay. It came out of nowhere. Yeah.
It's usually how that goes.
Yeah.
Here we are again. It's another week and ready for more drinking and more shenanigans.
Right. And before we can get to the drinking and the shenanigans, we should introduce the other people who are joining us in all of the drinking and shenanigans. So, once again, coming to us from his shower, still in progress, it's none other than the Triple B Armorer, JS Gunslinger. JS, how you doing tonight?
I am doing ish, is what I'm doing. I am again coming to you from the longest shower install in history. We are going on maybe 2 months now, something like that, since I started this project. But you know, I get about an hour a day to work on it, and yeah, we're getting there. So did a little bit more today. I got a wall done. I started the chevron pattern in the back. For the viewers that are along for this ride, you know, you can see how I'm doing the chevron in the back, trying to make it look pretty, you know. But yeah, once again, from the shower with a beer.
Yeah.
Nothing better than a shower beer.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's that voice, which, hey, if you haven't been listening for a while, you may have missed that he came back and joined us last week, and he's back again. It is none other than Rudeboy Kyle. Kyle, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. It's a great day to be here, a great day to have a drink, and an awesome day to have a drink with friends. So glad to be back.
It's good. Hey, Kyle, pick a number between 1 and 3.
3.
Okay. And while we get to what that's all about, let's introduce the last person joining us on the call tonight. It's none other than the Triple B brewmaster himself, the local geek. Local geek, how are you doing tonight?
Hey guys, doing pretty good. Have a pretty busy day, but got a lot accomplished. So,
well, gents, we should just hop into everybody's favorite segment of the show right away, and that is what's on tap. And JS, I saw you holding a beer, and I hate to keep you waiting. What are you having?
I am having a special delivery from none other than Kidder today. And I'm just too lazy to put it in the fridge, so I'm going to drink it. This is an Anheuser-Busch. I almost hate to say this. Light Platinum.
Mm-hmm.
It is 6% alcohol, 12 ounces. If you want to call them, it's 1-800-DIAL-BUD, which Kind of sounds like a different kind of 1-800 number.
It's a pot line.
It's, yeah, I was gonna go a different direction, but yeah, that would work too. 139 calories, 5 point, what the hell? 5.1 grams of carbohydrates,
Hot target.
0.7 grams of protein, and 0 fat. Rating is very hard to read on these. And here's to something.
A platinum shower beer.
And you said you're too lazy to put it in the fridge. Does that mean that it's currently warm, or was it given to you cold and it's still cold?
To be cold. It's cold now. It's warm, but it ain't cold. It tastes like someone soaked rice in water for a really long time and then just poured some vodka in it. Yep. Yep, that's what I get. If you want a light beer, this is about as light as you're gonna get. Bud Light has never been my beer. I have never been a huge fan of Bud Light. I could care less about the marketing things, but I just never liked it. I don't know. I think beer should be made with grain, not rice. I don't know. I have never liked Bud Light. Hardly ever. I will gladly drink a Coors Original. It's never really been my thing either. I'll drink a Busch before I'll drink any of these, hands down. But I'm gonna go with like a 2. It's drinkable, but it is not my first choice.
All right.
You call it too strong to be considered light?
It doesn't taste strong. It tastes like rice water.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you get the little hint of having a little extra alcohol in it, but I mean, it's not like when you're drinking a 6% IPA or something and it kicks you in the teeth.
That sounds like it has a nitrous capsule in it.
Yes, sir, it does.
All right, boy, I guess you're next.
All right. What I have here is from Left Hand Brewing in Longmont, Colorado. The Candy Cane Nitro. Take a walk down Candy Cane Lane and experience the aromas of... Oh, let me make sure I got it right there. Of rich chocolate, fresh peppermint, and a hint of coffee. The smooth, full-bodied Imperial Peppermint Milk Stout is reminiscent of peppermint bark and will keep you warm and cozy on a cold winter's night. So snuggle up to the fire and enjoy the Mo Mint.
Not sure how I feel about minted beer.
That sounds terrible and amazing at the same time.
Well,
Right?
I'll give you my 2 cents since he asked. The mint is not strong. I will say the chocolate and the coffee are the main hits here. The mint is like a very, very afterthought on the taste. So it's not sweet. I'd say compared to you can tell it's a milk stout, so it's not heavy, but it's how can I put this? Almost like if you were to have a chilled hot chocolate with a little bit of coffee liqueur and then just a mint leaf floated on top. Like it's hardly there, but you can tell it is.
That sounds pretty damn good.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's I don't partake in a whole bunch of stouts regularly, but this one caught my eye, and I was like, well, I got to do something for the show, and 'tis the season. So, when I saw the candy cane, I instantly thought it was going to be too sweet. So I think that it
Sweet.
it is not.
What
It
is
is not
wrong
sweet.
with you guys? Sorry.
Yeah, well,
Wrestling. You said it's like Pee Wee's Playhouse.
magic word of the day. Too sweet. But no, it's incredibly well balanced. First taste, you can almost. I mean, the flavor throughout first taste and subsequent tasting after it goes down, I'd say it goes chocolate, coffee, and then like a hint of mint at the end. So it's well balanced, well profiled. Let's see, 9.5% alcohol by volume. Good to go from the can, but you can drink it like a pro from the glass. So
Nice. I think that's the way the mint would have to go in something like that. It'd have to be real light on the back end, or it would just overpower everything.
yeah, it's I like it. I mean, candy cane bark is when they describe it like that, I'd say like if you had a diet version of candy cane bark, like it's like not too much, but it's just right. So kudos to Left Hand Brewing.
All right.
I wonder, can we get that up here, Kidder? Any idea?
I just had a stroke there. What? I saw your mouth move and I heard you talk. I did not hear anything.
Do I smell toast?
What's burning?
And you left your right arm. I said, can we get that up here? Is Left Hand Brewing available up here? I don't think I've seen it, but it's been a bit since I've been in the establishment.
I don't think so.
The local geek is checking.
Do some research.
While he's checking, dinner, what are you having?
I don't know if I should be drinking more after that. How about this that you gave me?
Sure. Go for it. Enjoy.
It's,
maybe.
Moscow Mule. Mule. It's what's to drink.
Mule.
Dun, dun, dun.
Mule.
Vodka with natural ginger. Always good to have a natural ginger. Lemon lime flavor as well. It's 8% alcohol by volume. 16 proof and 355 milliliters. Contains alcohol. Bottled by Mule 2.0 in La Crosse, Wisconsin. They are online at mule20.com. Gluten-free. And Bar Corporation Aluminum. Right about there. Right there.
On the
There you
ball.
go. Yeah. All right. I think we've had this one before.
I think we have to.
JS is rocking the 6%er over there.
I'm about ready to rock myself to sleep.
Yeah, that happens. Still good.
Feels like it's been a long day, but I haven't accomplished a fucking thing.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
It looks like Left Hand is not distributed anywhere super close to us. Minneapolis, obviously, you can get it. And then Rapid City, Deadwood, Spearfish, those areas have it. So not too far, but far enough that it's not just a quick drive.
Pasadena, California. I'm going there in February.
Pasadena, you said?
Yep.
Sacramento.
Oh yeah, it's all over there.
Yeah, something for JS to look for. Local Geek,
Total wine.
what are you having?
I am having a gift from JS Gunslinger, the Summerly Raspberry Wheat Ale,
Ooh.
which I think everybody else has already had their can that was provided, but I'll quick read the summary on it since it's been a little bit. It's a beer with hundreds and hundreds of pounds of fresh raspberries. Can only be considered the perfect beer for summer, right? Summer in December, you know? Right. Beckoning for friends, beer gardens, and sunshine. Summerly will aid in the process of forgetting winter because winter is the absolute worst thing ever. Brewed with 3 different kinds of wheat and 2-row malt from the good old US of A. This wheat ale is summer in a can. This one is, I think it was like 4.8% when I looked. I don't remember where it's at on the can. There it is. 4.8%. That's very raspberry. Wow. That's a good one.
Tastes like summer.
It does.
I enjoyed that one.
I think it's 4.8% alcohol. I'm going to give it a 4.8 too.
Ooh.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, gents, as we kind of round out this segment, fun fact: the first time that we ever did the game, if you know, you know, was an episode with Kyle and Kidder, and now, unfortunately, due to life circumstances, I'm not really able to do if you know, you know. But since I was gifted a shot glass last week, and since Kyle is on, a good way to send it out with one last, if you know, you know.
Bottoms up.
Yeah. Okay.
Goes down smooth.
He looked
Yeah.
like Joel when he was drinking that juice.
Yeah. Anyway, my actual drink for this this episode, I'm still working on these from the Distill Brewery, the Wild Sour series. This time it is their counterclockwise. So
I think you've had that one on the show before.
I don't think we have. As our original wild sour beer first brewed in 2013, Counterclockwise was affectionately named for reverse engineering. Our souring process in part from the dregs of our sour barrels to create the wild sour series culture that exists to this day. This Berliner style Weiss beer is our interpretation of a traditional German-style sour wheat ale. That's pale. Light-bodied, low-hopped, highly attuned, and pleasantly lemony tart. Cheers. My gosh, they need more punctuation in that sentence. It is 4 point...
Are those words getting hard for you, Howie?
Just a little. 4.2% alcohol by volume, 12 IBUs. So let's crack this open. I can smell the old sour. It's all right. It is not as sour as some of the other ones I've had from them. Has a very, very weedy taste, which is a little weird coming off of sour. I don't know if I like that quite as much as like a bit of fruit with my sour, even though I don't like fruit in beer. But I'm going to give this a 2.8. It's not my favorite sour that I've had, but I will enjoy it. at least for this evening. That brings us to the end of What's on Tap.
Gotta bring it to the end.
Who's got something to talk about? Howard exhausted all of his good. Howard exhausted all of his topics last week.
So I earlier today spent a good portion of my afternoon playing with my new toy that I bought myself on Black Friday, the Brewzilla, which I've named Brutus. Made first batch of beer in it, and it is sitting in the fermenter right about there. It's the 2024 edition of the Mini DNA Blueberry Stout, so that'll be ready in a few weeks here, and I'll make sure to get you guys some of it.
Local Geek, I just have to say, if you're gonna name a thing called Brewzilla Brutus, can you at least have like a king before that or a mecha? Really lay into that kaiju feel. Mecha Brutus or King.
Your Titan's been destroyed.
So, just
Back
a
to the Titanfall days.
Oh man.
I never played Titanfall.
Ooh.
But yeah, I'm excited to see how this one turns out since it was my first time using that, and felt like everything went well. I came in a little bit higher volume than I was anticipating, so I ended up with 5.5 gallons instead of 5 gallons, and a little bit lower alcohol content, or original gravity at least for theoretical alcohol content, because of that extra volume. So I could have boiled it down to the 5 gallons and probably would have came in more where my target was, but
it's interesting how you have brewed that same recipe every year, and it's always slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've always put different amounts of blueberries in. I've kind of been playing with that every year, but I've had various volume amounts as well, and this one I can chalk up to the first time on a different system. So as I get that system kind of honed in, I'll know more what my levels of water should be for starting. And
good, and a good beer for you to break it in on. The Mini DNA and such.
That's kind of what I thought too. I was like, this is a good beer to start with because it's kind of a special one for me. So
yeah.
So does this one brew a lot faster than some of the other ones?
Sort of. So with my old system that I had a 15-gallon pot that I put on a propane burner that I would bring the water up to about 160-ish, and then I put that into a cooler that I converted into a mash tun and put the grain inside of that to mash or steep, and then I'd put it back into that kettle to boil it after it was done, after about an hour of sitting in that. With this system, I can do all of that process in one unit. It's got a big pipe in the middle of it, basically, that has a false bottom on it that you can drain out of. So after it's done with that steeping process, you just raise that pipe up, give it a twist. It's got 4 feet around the bottom of it that'll lock onto the lid at that point. And then it just drains down into it, and then you just crank the temperature up and boil it.
That's cool. It's got its own heating element and everything in it?
Yep. They make a 110, 220 version. I've got the 110 version, so it takes it a little bit, but
that's cool.
Yeah, it simplifies the process and speeds things up a little bit. And like I said, the worst part was waiting for it to start boiling because that took a while to bring it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, I was bringing 6 gallons of water up to a boil from starting at 140 degrees. It only took it probably 20 minutes.
Ain't bad.
We will have to, now that you have the new system, I think we got to revisit the whole brew day video. Mm-hmm. And maybe Kidder, even live stream it this time.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Yeah, people
calm down.
People can call it, or
if you need a cameraman.
Kidder's just gonna have to decide which type of IPA we're gonna brew.
Hey, whatever you want to pour into the
West
trash.
Coast, East Coast, double, triple.
I think Imperial. Definitely got to go Imperial. Okay, how about we get the recipe, Kidder, for that Central Time IPA from Bismarck Brewing? You know,
Was that the tractor beer? Because that was terrible.
it was the tractor beer.
Yeah. Nope. That stuff can burn in hell.
That was the worst beer of IPA Appreciation Month for sure.
Even IPA was terrible.
I still got a can of it. So
I was going through my beer fridge today, and I noticed there's at least 2 more IPAs that somebody snuck in there. So
wasn't me.
I said that last time. I think you're just buying some and adding them in just to say that. You pull off
who
the
did it?
mask
It wasn't
and,
me.
Oh, it was a local geek all along.
I know JS gave me the one I had 3-4 episodes ago.
Yeah, I gave you some kind of nasty one up. My apologies, but there'll be another round of mystery beers next when we go to Pasadena in February. So we'll stop at some different places this time, and God knows what I'm going to come back with.
Well, remember to try to find that one that I sent you. I'll buy a case of it or a 12-pack, 6-pack, whatever they sell it in if you can find it.
I'll have to do that. Yeah, I'll have to look for that one again. I already forgot what it was. That's my goldfish memory is kicking in.
Hey, JS.
Oh,
Last week I kept giving you bad news. Do you want some good news?
why not?
Okay, just for you. You know me. I can't just sit here and do nothing.
Here you go, JS.
Serves you right. Cherry souffle. Yeah, cherry souffle. I will add that to the to-do list.
Not the one on the fridge. That one is clearly not getting done.
I got to cross off one more thing on there last week. I didn't cross it off yet, but I finally got the rest of the garage spray foam, so the whole roof is foam now. And oh my God, does it make a difference?
Nice.
It is amazing in there. And I missed the episode when Big Red got retired and sold, but I got the final part for its replacement today. My transmission showed up.
Wow.
So now after I get the shower done, and also as of yesterday, we have reached an agreement with the owners of our new building. So Monday or Tuesday, I should have keys for the new building. And then the next month of my life is going to be complete miserable. So Monday or Tuesday, I should be in the new building.
Congratulations.
Oh, hey, kiddo.
That's worth a drink.
You shoot tomorrow.
Yeah.
You go to bed after this
Oh,
episode.
shoot.
It doesn't start till noon. You can get plenty of sleep, come to the shoot, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
One of these times, JS, you're just gonna have to lure him there for like a different reason. Like, hey, kidder, I have some beer for you. Why don't you come out and pick it up? And then what?
I will be there after like 6 p.m.
If he would ever, get back on day shift, I could probably do that, but he has signed up for eternal nights here lately, so.
Well, Kidder has always been more of a night owl.
I'm not gonna lie, I always favored night shift too, so I understand.
As a gentleman who roomed with him in college, I can tell you I got very good at learning how to fall asleep to the docile tones of Metallica being played. As I would try to go to bed and Kidder would still be there rocking.
You guys playing Guitar Hero?
That was even before those apartment days.
That's true.
Yeah. So that yeah, I went to bed many a night with Kidder playing Metallica.
The Sangria days of 08.
Way before that, but yeah, it was something. It was something.
It's mostly good.
Mostly, yeah.
Except
Mostly.
for the sangria.
Yeah, that was never good.
That was rough.
Yeah. That's one of those we should have learned. We should have had more house parties because I think we could have gotten rid of it,
I mean, we did because it became a thing where if you came over, you had to have a glass of it.
Yeah.
Right, Kyle?
Oh, yeah. Glass or 3.
I never went as far as 3. One was enough.
Mm-hmm. When it comes in a jug, you have to question the quality.
I think I bought one of those for Wii Fest one year. That same jug that you're talking about. I know I've had one. Probably got it at the same establishment.
This is now raises the question, local geek, did you ever have a jug of sangria?
I didn't have a jug of sangria. I did buy bottom shelf Phillips Scotch one time.
Oh,
That was not a good choice.
Scotch. I didn't even know they made scotch.
sangria.
Probably for the better kidder.
2 things I want to buy bottom shelf is gin and scotch. Man.
Yeah. The tough thing is, when you're starting off in college and you want to explore those things, you don't have enough money. So you hate to buy the expensive bottle of something like scotch because you're like, I don't even know if I like scotch. Do I want to spend
That's exactly what my situation was. I'd like to try scotch, but I don't want to drop $100 on a bottle of scotch to find out I don't like scotch. So I dropped $15 on a bottle of scotch and found out I didn't like that particular scotch.
Yeah.
It took me several years before I found out that there are some that I can tolerate.
Yeah, you really question the choices. You're like, scotch? No, I guess I'm just not a scotch person. Not.
Nope. That's what I thought for a number of years. I did find, though, at the liquor store I frequented when we lived out in the Minneapolis area, they had a clearance bin, and they had something in there called Bowles Red Stinger. It was a cinnamon schnapps, and that was actually really good.
Oh.
And of course, it was on clearance, so I couldn't get it again.
Sorry, they're coming from a cattle farm. That took on a whole different meeting.
That's okay. I remember the first beer I actually ever had. It was from my dad, and it was a Scotch ale beer. That was a rough start.
Explains why you like cold smoke so well.
It does, which is it's kind of funny because I didn't like the it was the Sam Adams Scotch ale. First beer I ever had. I'm like, woo, this is what beer is like. I don't know if I'm gonna be a beer drinker. Nowadays, I probably would be okay with it, but back then it was that was a little too much for a starter.
I'm not gonna lie, I may or may not have given my son a taste or two of a handful of nasty beers just to hammer that in. That beer is terrible. You don't want to drink that.
Son, don't make my mistakes. You really should get it on the beer. I mean, it's not that great. I mean, this stuff is practically terrible.
This thing is the worst thing that.
Who gave me this beer?
How did this even end up in our house?
I know.
Growing up, my dad was an old Milwaukee light drinker. That was all he ever had in the house. And so, of course, as a kid, I wanted to know what it tasted like. So he let me have a sip of it one time. And I was like, nope, that's gross.
Yeah, I think
you are right. It is gross.
Yeah,
He
I'm pretty
has
sure my
branched
dad.
out now. After my brother turned 21, was kind of when he started to branch out and try like some of the craft beers and some of the more expensive beers. Because I don't know, that's just what he always bought growing up, and I don't know if he even liked it, but I can say he hasn't bought it ever since he started exploring some of the other beers. So
yeah, my grandpa was an old Milwaukee drinker, and it wasn't the light stuff. It was straight up old mill. It was something.
My dad is big onto hams. Hams is his beer of choice.
Hams every now and then is not. I am okay with that. Same with like a PBR. I like a good PBR here and there. It ain't gonna be my first choice, but if it's crappy beer night, I'll go for a PBR.
how about a Rolling Rock?
So, Eggnog is not crappy beer to me. It's like the lightest beer in all the beer. I actually like it.
Yeah, for a cheap beer, it's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah. Other than the old, what was it? The glass-lined Cubs at Old Latrobe, I believe is what it says on the bottle. But
I honestly can't say that I've drank a lot of Rolling Rock. Like I don't remember it like enough. I maybe have had it like once on occasion, but I
remember helping my uncle out with his garage sale, and he had a big pole barn on his farm in the Boise suburbs, and it was filled to the brim with natural ice. So that was the first time ever trying natural ice, but it was, man, it hit the spot on a 90-degree day. It was delicious.
My brother and my brother-in-laws and a couple of their friends all get together, usually right around Easter, and they play beer darts. And they have this massive cooler, like 4-foot-long cooler that they fill up, and it's usually natural ice, Rolling Rock, PBR, all the cheap beers, and everybody brings a case of one of the cheap beers, so they've got everything. And then they play beer darts with those beers.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, if you play beer darts with a Guinness, the whole can explodes, so you don't have to drink anything. That nitro capsule just...
Good to know.
How about Beer 30, Kyle? Remember that? Beer 30 and Beer 30 Ice?
Oh,
those 30 packs that Nick brought back from gas station down south. 30-pack of beer for not even $10.
Oh, man. I remember it used to be 30 stones for 15 bones or less when we were in college, because it's 30-pack of Keystone or Keystone Ice, and they weren't any more than 50 cents a can.
Yeah, beer's pricey. That's for sure. It's an expensive habit.
I think it's more just our taste buds are pricey. Beer is still cheap. Just the stuff we drink is not.
That's why I make my own.
I truthfully only drink on this show, so
being it's Christmas time again, I have been hitting the eggnog. May or may not have had some taste like Structure Fire eggnog last night. So,
Yeah.
Now, if you were to mix a certain liquor with your eggnog, if you were to just go eggnog with something else, what would you go with?
I usually go with a good scotch or a good whiskey to put in there.
Okay.
The traditional eggnog, or shouldn't say traditional, but one that I found that I really like is you mix an ounce and a half of brandy and an ounce and a half of scotch, 3/4 ounce of simple syrup, a little bit of orange bitters, a little bit of ice, shake it real good, and then after you pour it in a glass, you put a little bit of ground nutmeg and some orange zest over the top of it, and that's one of the best ones I've had. I really like Ardbeg. It's the Ardbeg like 12. I'm not even sure which one it is, but
Ardbeg.
Wee Beastie is what it is. It literally tastes like you're drinking something that just came out of a house fire.
Nice.
The amount of smoke flavor they get in that stuff is impeccable. It has gone way up in price. So it used to be like $25 a bottle. Now it's like 40. And I don't know why, but same place, same everything, but it just about doubled in price. So, but yeah, for me, like you really get, like you get the flavors of the eggnog, and then you get that smoke flavor that comes out of that whiskey. I'm a big fan of it. That, or the other one I'll put in there is, I've had a whole bunch of different ones here.
I've tried a Crown Royal vanilla that tends to go well with those types of.
I don't know. I don't know if I would go with the Canadian whiskey. In the eggnog, I don't like I don't mind the flavor of a good Canadian whiskey. That's not. I like.
I suppose what kind of flavor you're going for is if you want more whiskey flavor, or you want more eggnog flavor, I guess. So.
Yeah, I with the eggnog, I tend to go more for a good Scotch or a good bourbon than like a Canadian whiskey. If I can get a bourbon or a Scotch to go in there versus like a Canadian. If the Canadian whiskey is all I got, well, then I guess that's what we're going for. But sure. if I've got a bourbon or a Scotch, that's hands down going in there before the whiskey is.
Okay.
So, and then I, just because Kidder likes cherry so much, I mix a little bit of cherry in there too, just a little bit. And
I was actually going to say you forgot the cherry when you were reading off your recipe.
I did not. No, you are correct. But yeah, Walmart of all places has drink mix cherries. Really, really good. In there, they're a little like liquor mix aisle. Ours doesn't have booze in it because ours is lame, but they're in their little drink mix section right next to the fake ginger beer and stuff like that. But I forget the name of them. They're in my fridge, but I really like them. It's not maraschino cherries. It's something else, but good eggnog mix does call for some maraschino liqueur, but it is really hard to find up here. I've been to just about all of the liquor stores. I think Captain Jack's had it, but they don't anymore. So I have not found another liquor store that has it. Even the big one in town does not have it anymore.
The cherries you're talking about?
No, the Luxardo cherry liqueur.
Oh, the Woodford brandy cherries. I know they used to carry at the one out east that actually had the liquor in them.
Okay, I'll grab them. Now I'm curious as to what they are.
I'm kind of half tempted to try Pendleton with it, just to see what it does.
That might be good. Pendleton doesn't have quite that Canadian taste to it.
Yeah.
That's on my cherries. On the Traverse City Whiskey Company's premium cocktail cherries. That's what they are.
Great for something other than an old fashioned.
Yeah.
I'm not
like a gift for Kidder.
I'm not gonna lie, Kidder. The last old fashioned I made was Ardbeg, simple syrup, a ton of this, some bitters, and a whole lot of goodness. And it was good.
So I'm gonna say, somebody that Local Geek knows, who happens to now own 2 local bars, the official recipe for an old fashioned happens to match up with Kidder's old fashioned approved. The exact recipe right here on your screen. Make sure you take a screenshot of that so it's super blurry. And that's whiskey or bourbon, a little simple syrup. You get the zest of an orange peel, a couple dashes of the simple bitters there, and no freaking cherry.
And he makes a heck of an old fashioned.
Best old fashioned, as one guy who happened to sit at a bar rail next to me one night said, best old fashioned west of the Mississippi. And I'm like, okay, I'll take that.
I don't know.
It is. It's a damn good old fashioned.
If Rachel makes it, I'm going to have to go with yes.
Well, she's using the recipe that he made, so.
Rachel's are made with love, okay? You gotta take that into account.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or a roofie, or whichever one you want to.
I also have to throw some shade at a former or an establishment that I used to enjoy going to a lot more, and that would be a place where you can speak easy. Because well, the new cocktails are all right. The manager thinks that putting cherries in an old fashioned is the proper way. So that's incorrect. And to bolster that, I saw an article earlier today on the proper way to make the truest old fashioned. And it literally says in there, don't muddle it up with other stuff, pun intended, and don't overcomplicate it with extra things. Keep it simple.
So you might have a recipe book that some guy might have provided you with that had a ton of old fashioned recipes in it.
Where the hell did that go?
All the ones with cherries were highlighted for some reason. We don't know.
It's probably in the garbage then, if that was the case. I don't remember.
Those pages for them, put some sticky notes in,
Donated to the library.
These cherries away, but I think I have a book.
Let's take a look.
It's in a book.
Pretty sure I just kicked the dog in the face. Whoopsies.
You come into my yard and you kick my dog.
You kick my dog.
Anybody else remember that? Aside from
I do remember that.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
The wee days of the internet.
That was good.
Where is the old fashioned?
In the bedroom.
Hey, family show.
Peter.
Randy.
Page number 100.
Oh, sure.
You know what? Just because I don't want to crack an entire beer, because I'm gonna go to bed here pretty soon. But I got some eggnog. I'm gonna mix me up a little bit of eggnog, a little bit of Ardbeg. We're gonna make a little eggnog cocktail here.
Put it on camera.
I'll put it on camera after I get done making it, but
On camera, or it never happened.
You got it from the replicator.
So, do we want Templeton Rye 6-year whiskey or taste like structure fire?
Templeton.
Ooh, all right.
Saying that because it's from Iowa.
It's gotta
It tastes
represent.
Tastes good. I haven't tried the other stuff, so
Orange bitters. Since I'm too lazy to zest some orange. And then some Traverse City Premium Cocktail Cherries.
do you put the cherries or just the cherry juice in?
In the eggnog, I just put the cherry juice. In the
like
old
half a teaspoon?
fashions,
Not much.
about
Right.
whatever I get out. Yeah, about half a teaspoon, maybe a little more. I'm a fan of the cherry juice, so if I get a little more than that, it doesn't hurt my feelings any.
Mm-hmm.
And then my secret ingredient is dark cocoa dusted espresso bean popcorn seasoning.
Nutmeg
Instead-
deluxe.
Instead of nutmeg, I put that on the top, and man, that makes all the difference. Because you get this, I mean, because it really tastes like espresso. It's really strong. I don't put a whole lot on there, but it smells really strong. So you get like a coffee shot up your nose, and then all the spices and everything in the eggnog, and it's great.
So you just need to do a line of coffee before you take your shot.
I mean, that's doable too. I could make that happen. All right.
A line of coffee dust.
Well,
Put a line of a coffee in the coconut and drink it all up. That doesn't quite work.
well,
I've been
this
drinking.
this morning when I woke up, instead of putting coffee in the Keurig thing, I put it right in my cup. So, but yeah,
Cheers.
there's the eggnog, and you can see the dust there on the top of it. That's that coconut or that cocoa espresso bean stuff.
I think that's got to be the first eggnog we've had on the show.
Ooh.
I think it is.
All right, so page 100.
JS will now read from the book of cocktails. Please stand for the liturgy.
Old man drinks.
I feel like my whole life has been a waste. I think I was meant to do something completely different. Ralph, 72, retired doorman.
Clearly, Ralph never started a podcast.
The book is his podcast.
100.
Timey.
We're just reading on his legacy.
This may be the quintessential old man drink. It's so old it was being called old-fashioned in the 1890s. It is so old, one of the glasses we drink cocktails out of it is named after it. It is so old, some scholars believe it was the first drink to be called a cocktail. A potent combination of whiskey, sugar, and bitters that served on the rocks. The OF shouldn't be, I don't know why they call it OnlyFans, but, shouldn't be muddled up with a lot of unnecessary fruit, as some mixologists do. It should, however, be muddled up as in agitated with a muddler. So invest in a good one if you want to add this to your menu. A simple garnish of lemon
Agitated.
peel. Ooh, lemon peel. That's an interesting one. Is all you need to add the perfect aromatic note to the sweet and sour classic. Ingredients: 1 sugar cube, 2 dashes, Angostura, I can't pronounce that word, bitters, 2 ounces of bourbon, a lemon twist. See, Rachel puts orange twist in them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's better than lemon, but preparation. Muddle the sugar cube and bitters in the bottom of an old-fashioned glass. Add ice and bourbon. Stir, garnish with the lemon twist. And there you are, gentlemen. Your traditional old-fashioned recipe.
Knowing your tastes, JS, how would you feel about a grapefruit twist?
I feel like you'd have to call it something different because if I was expecting an old fashioned and got a shot of grapefruit in there, I'd be pissed.
But just the twist around, like where they rub it around the rim and put the twist of the peel in there. You wouldn't get a ton of it, but
It's a tease.
Yeah, I don't know. The same thing with like the lemon twist. That one's new for me. I know I remember reading this, but I don't remember the lemon twist part of it. But like
I'd
lemon
expect
and-
that more for a Sazerac.
Yeah, lemon and grapefruit to me in an old fashioned, I think would throw the balance off.
It's almost like you need cherries to balance it out.
Guy, get the hell out of here! You're done!
Grapefruit and cherries. There we go.
I was going to ask how he.
What do we hit on here? It's a new masterpiece.
The South Des Moines old fashioned.
Shush.
Mix in some street dirt.
Shush. I might have to try and make that and see what happens.
This is a little grainy.
Doesn't it look pretty?
Are we looking at your drink? What appears
Well,
to be
there's a
bucket
drink of
green
something in there.
clips, or
I mean, I was talking the drink because it had that like nice swirl pattern going in it. I don't know. I'm drunk.
Tall drink of something.
This isn't the stopped up drain that we've got at the bottom of the shower, folks. This is a genuine drink.
Howard was shaking his head talking about a certain website, but here's the thing: you throw out the OF keyword, and maybe we'll really trip the algorithm. We're going to start getting those clicks. They're going to change. They think that it's supposed to be clicks, but there's a bunch of dudes here, so you change a letter, and you got what I'm saying here.
and
Click.
Yeah, between my horrendous back pain, the 4 to 5 drinks I'm in right now, and the echo going in this shower, I don't know what day it is.
And on that startling revelation,
We got a
Kidder? No, it's time we wrap this show up.
Why?
Because the
Why?
timer went off,
Oh.
and it's late, and I have to work tomorrow. So, yeah,
Howard.
I'm going to pass out mid-show here pretty soon.
yeah. So for his sanity, let's wrap this up with some cheap plugs.
Okay. First and foremost, Howie Blues for a cheap plug. I'm going to drink this in a little bit because it's been sitting in my fridge as a non-alcoholic. So for what's on tap for after the show, the 2024 mystery flavor of Mountain Dew that's clear. There's only 270 calories per bottle. It's a mystery flavor, so we don't know what's in it. 91 milligrams of caffeine, and then a whole bunch of things, including carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, which is JS's favorite, natural and artificial flavor, citric acid, gum arabic, and sodium benzoate, and other things. But I'll recycle this when I'm done. And if I remember next show, I'll give a review.
At least that one being clear doesn't have red 40 in it.
Small victory.
It's only got half the poisonous ingredients.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, beerbluesbs.com is our website. Visit us online there, beerbluesbs.com, and you can join everywhere and everything that we have on the show. Aside from all of those good things, well, you buy stuff to help us keep the show going. Please, we need your money. And we need your alcohol. Send both, please. Aside from that, we're on Facebook. We're on Instagram at Beer Blues BS, or search for Beer Blues and BS. And it's also conveniently linked on our website, beerbluesbs.com. If you want to donate straight up to the show and have your username out there in digital space for eternity, you can do that at streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs and visit the merch store there, streamlabs.com/beerbluesbs. As little as $1 a month can help some thirsty podcast hosts, and we'd appreciate that very much. Aside from that, I mentioned Facebook and Instagram. The video version of the show lives in infamy on YouTube. You can join us there, youtube.com/beerbluesbs or something like that. Just go to YouTube and then search for Beer Blues and BS. And you get this. If you're listening to this, thank you. And subscribe on YouTube for free and all of our other audio platforms, because we're everywhere in the audioverse. We're on Spotify, we're on Pandora, we're on Stitcher, we're on TuneIn, IMDb, Player FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, and probably more. So if you have any audio podcast service, even though you're listening to us on one of them right now, go to the other ones and search for Beer Blues and BS and like us there as well. Please and thank you. Also, the KRDN weather stream is back, baby, on Twitch because YouTube is being dumb. So it's on Twitch now again. Twitch.tv/KRDN weather now. Get it there. Live it and love it. And, stay informed. Watch the ice storm as it happens, right, Rude Boy?
Yes, sir.
And speaking of final thoughts, let's go around the horn here. We got some final thoughts. I'm going to switch it up. Local Geek just unmuted himself, so that means he gets to tell us what's on his mind first.
Yeah, so my final thought kind of goes back to brewing my beer with the weather we've been having. I brewed it at my brother's house in his garage. And then I threw the fermenter in my car, and it ended up being too tall to fit in the trunk, so I had to sit it on the floor in the passenger seat. And then I had to have my hand out to the side holding on to it because it was tilted a little bit so that it wouldn't go all over. And I think I might have earned my CDL endorsement for driving liquids because that thing was trying to go all over the place.
Good job for not spilling.
Not sure if that'd be considered an open container or not.
I had not put the yeast in it yet, so there was no fermentation happening.
See. Okay. Interesting.
Just the
Rude
pasta
boy.
water.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an awesome show with you guys, and back for week 2 of 2 in a row for me. So excited for that. But yeah, hoping to make more shows more often in the near future. But wish you all guys a happy holidays, happy New Year, and thanks for the drinks, thanks for the good times, the good laughs, and we'll do it again soon.
Happy New You, Rude Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And JS Gunslinger still in his sultry shower, salivating at the sounds that he can say.
Teach your kids how to change a tire, because there is nothing more satisfying than watching some guy's girlfriend chew his ass because he doesn't know how to change a tire while you're down there doing it for her. Be a good dad. Have a great night.
Okay, very good. Words of wisdom from one JS Gunslinger. And Howie Blues. He's been fermenting on his final thought for a bit.
Not really. Yeah. My final thought is this. Once you have become an adult, and I don't mean hey, in your early to mid 20s, but when you become a true adult and you get out into the working world, It's time to be a grown-up and let the drama go. That's mine. Because when you have all that drama, you're just creating more work for other people. So just grow up, do your job, and, let everybody just be groovy. Yeah.
Keep your stick on the ice.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe.
Good old red green.
Love that. No. Different guy.
Well, yeah.
His tag has 3 letters in it. He's from Canada, and it's amazing.
And with that, skating on out of here as quickly as we can. I'm still Mark Kidder. Thanks for being here for this and every episode of Beer, Blues, and BS. Catch us on the next one, of course. It's going to be a good one. Always is. There's free beer tomorrow. You got to keep your glass at least half full, and we will catch you on down that punny Tuscan highway. Have a good one. See you in the next episode of Beer, Blues, and BS.
You have been listening to a UA production of Beer, Blues, and BS. If you enjoyed the show, help others find out about it by rating the show or leaving a review at your podcast listening service of choice. Thanks for listening, and may your glass never be empty. UA Productions presents A Glimpse Behind the Curtain.
You need to go to shit.
Kyle, I didn't have the chance to warn you and tell you that we've changed the format of the show, so we record 2 episodes in a night. So,
Well, I've got another beer ready.
that's good. That's good. I realized as we were mid-show, and I wasn't going to go through that for the audience again. But
Yeah, well, I saw your email from yesterday, and I was like, well, did they do one yesterday? And because Mark told me the 14th, and I know we've kind of been BSing what seems like a short time to me.
think so.
But
yeah. So we do two shows a night, hour each. The whole one last. I forgot that we weren't recording until tonight. So I got down here, got set up, sent out the emails, and
that's good.
and then Local Geek pops in and goes, "Is this like a special episode?" Because
Too bad.
he's like,
Now.
it's like
This is the
Or
matinee.
the other one.
He's like,
Or use the other one.
Kidder said that we were recording tomorrow night. Like what? So
Yeah, I had just sent a text right before he sent the email asking if they were recording last night. And then the email came, and I was like, oh, they must be. Okay.
Yeah, I had to check my emails, and I had a whole bunch of unreads, and I was like, oh, life happens. But
yeah, that's the other thing is we Kidder and I made the decision that we would just invite you and Nick, JS,
might as well.
every week that we record. We're just going to just send the invite. You hop on when you can. That's the plan.
So are we going to change it to a different hockey game so we're not making it obvious that we're
No.
Trying to
maybe one where the Hawks are winning or something?
I gotta go back. Got to go back to a replay or what?
Go back to 2015. Back when the Hawks were good.
Surprisingly, Kidder changing his shirt is the most like trying to keep up the illusion that we've ever done on the show.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to put on a hat or change a hoodie.
Should I go upstairs and find my lederhosen shirt?
No, let's just get this underway.
Make a few cuts during each episode, and everybody wearing something different.
We did that actually. There's an episode. I forget what it's called. It's something magic related. Where Kidder throughout, like, changed through, like, I think it was all of his, like, St. Patrick's Day, like, clothing and such. And so every time, like, throughout, like, it would come back to him and he'd be wearing something different. So
Nice.
we've actually done that joke. So,
Great minds.
yes.